So, I come home today and learned that Tucker Carlson is leaving Fox News. Now, most of you that know me know where I stand. I do not support ABC, NBC, CBS, NPR, PBS, MSNBC, and of course the infamous king and queen of fake news, CNN. We're in a war in this country, in America, in Western nations to be exact. Britain, Australia, Canada. Something is happening by the elites of the world. The filthy rich, power-hungry tyrants. A lot of them reside right here in Google, Facebook, Bezos of Amazon, Warren Buffett. None of these people have in mind your freedom and your rights. They're greedy for money. They're greedy to take your money and to keep you from earning as much as they. I don't know what Tucker Carlson made at Fox News. Personally, I think people in the media make way too damn much money. That's the understatement of the year. But Tucker, to me, spoke the truth. And he wasn't afraid. And I find that interesting. Is this Fox's decision? Is Fox pushing him out? I don't know. But I've been told that Fox News is not owned by conservatism. It's owned by many of the companies that are, involved with the fake news networks as well. And on a biblical level, as we get closer to the end times, you're going to be hard-pressed to get truth out on the air. And if you doubt me, and if you don't believe me, read the book of Revelation as to what God is going to do. Excuse me, hold that thought. Revelation 7 talks about having 144,000 witnesses. And good evening. Why? Because they're going to tell the world what is happening, why it's happening, and what they need to do. And of course, just like today, just like when Jesus was alive, there will be some to heed it, and most will scoff and laugh and deride them. The media is not our friend. It has been a tool for many years. But remember, Satan is the prince of the power of the air. The prince of the power of the air. And Satan knows something about communications. He knows something about how to control people. You get control of the entertainment industry. You get control of the media industry, Hollywood. You get control of social media, your public school system, from pre-K all the way up through college and Ivy Leagues. And you group up and you teach people that evolution is a fact when there's not one shred of science to support it. You teach people that the greatest danger to this world is spherical heating. Isn't it funny that the algorithms of these smart geeks, you just got to say it different to avoid getting tagged. I've outsmarted the algorithms of the geeks in the tech world. I'm sorry. I feel that's an accomplishment. You say those key words, you're banned, you shut down. We're living in a country with a party telling us that spherical heating is the greatest danger to us. This is coming from a party that killed 61 million children. You know, that thing they call choice, a woman's right to her body. 61 million, that's more than Stalin, Lenin, Hitler, Mussolini combined. Democrats have no conscience about that. And they're going to tell you, you can't drive your car and got to get electric. Have you seen these Teslas catching on fire? I saw a video yesterday. I'm thinking it was somewhere in the overseas. It didn't look like America. This wheel loader with the big tongs for picking up logs. There was a burning Tesla burning out of control. And the wheel loader wheeled up, picked up the burning mass, lifted up high, drove it across the highway, and dropped it over the bridge. And I said, that's what ought to be done with all these electric vehicles. Most of these people in America that vote Democrat, it's a very interesting dichotomy because it's only two. Very poor and ghetto behaving, or very excessively coastal rich. You know, the one that buy all the lands in and the LL Bean and that stuff that National Geographic advertises from South America, $250 for an alpaca wool sweater, that kind of stuff. That we have come to a point where the voting public that votes for very bad leadership fails to see the hypocrisy of the leaders that are priming their pump. Tucker Carlson leaving Fox is a bummer. Will he come out and do his own show like Glenn Beck? I'm sure he will. He might be sitting on enough money. But did you know Rachel Maddow makes $30 million a year? An ugly woman, both on the inside and the outside. That ugly feminist. You can't say this word or you get in trouble, but she just doesn't look like a lady. That's all I'm going to say. There's nothing sweet. There's nothing sexy. There's not a damn thing desirable about her. And she spews leftist bullshit. That's it. That's all. And she gets $30 million a year to support the lying leftist narrative. The Bible says, better a millstone be hung around the neck of an individual than to cause or teach one of these little ones to stumble. Adults in America, Democrats, are getting paid big dollars to lie to you and to moi. We've already seen what's happened socially in this country because of Hollywood and media dominance and the important stressor of telling everybody to go to college. Now, I'm not against college, but while you were going to college, college has been hijacked by socialists and atheists and humanists and Democrats and people that are anti-constitutional. It's sad. It's sick. It's unbelievable. And we live in this world today watching as things continue to worsen. Watching as we have one of the worst presidents, the worst president in the history of my lifetime. And the left is not waking up to it. The world is laughing at our leader. Russia and China are mocking this. What he did in Afghanistan was criminal. Leaving all the equipment there. Leaving everything that the enemies were salivating over. And he doesn't believe he did anything wrong. The stuff coming out about Hunter Biden involved with Zelensky in the Ukraine and China and money pouring out of their butt cheeks is nothing short of disgusting. I talk about this stuff because this race, rather this group of people, the Democrats in America, are responsible for a massive influx in crime. All you have to do is look at the Democrats, where they are dominant. The crime is off the chain. The rudeness is off the chain. Let's take everything that God said and rebel against it on every conceivable level. I don't know if I have a vagina or a penis. I think I'm going to become a woman. Mental illness, folks, or satanic possession, involvement, demonism, one of those. People get mad at me when I say that. But the Democrats are offensive to me. They have offended us conservatives. They've offended us Christians. They've offended those of us who believe in the Constitution. And contrary to Justin Trudeau in Canada or Nancy Pelosi in the US, when those two use the word democracy, they're talking out of their butt cheeks. America's a republic, not a democracy. Democrats want to turn everything upside down and throw God out of everything, stack the court, stack the House, stack the Senate, and if they do that, your Constitution's going into the fire pit. Promise you. And I'm not being Chicken Little, the sky is falling. I'm just stating a fact. This party has caused the escalation of crime to soaring new heights. The Black Lives Matter movement is nothing but a colossal lie. Blacks shout BLM in the face of whites, but they're not shouting it in the face of each other. Their race, more than any other in this country, kills each other percentile-wise higher for their population. Don't ignore what I'm saying, Democrats. You love to twist and spin. 13% of the U.S. population, highest crime stats, violence black on black, higher than whites percentile-wise, higher than Mexicans and Asians on each other. This is not the fault of whites. It's the fault of the primitive mentality of being within the black community. And I'm not going to break that down. I live in a community that's 57% black. And I don't hate black people. But I see so much stuff that makes me go, my gosh, but who wants to live in this? Why? God wants me as a Christian to be a bridge over troubled waters to all peoples. I don't just hang out with Caucasians or the race I feel comfortable with. And I don't feel comfortable with all whites. You've heard my channel for how many years? But when you stop and realize, you hear these esoteric Christians, well, I don't get into politics. I'm just about Jesus. Okay, big boy, big girl. You can't ignore that politics, you go ahead and play your little religious esotericism. And by you choosing not to vote and by you choosing to not talk about politics, how are you going to reach people for Jesus Christ? Because you have to tell the truth. The Bible says we are the salt of the earth, but the salt loses its saltiness. And it's not talking about politics. What is it talking about? It's talking about that you as a Christian need to be different than the world around us. That we don't get judged by this world. Paul says that. Know ye not that we shall judge the angels? Remember what Jesus said. Thou shalt not judge. For the measure you use will be judged, measured against you. How can you say to your brother, when you have a beam in your eye, let me remove the splinter? He's talking to a group of unbelieving religious leaders. But that applies to all the unsaved. They judge us all the time. Oh, he calls himself a Christian. Okay, unbeliever, wait till you stand before God and God says, you're judging my people. By what standard? Mine or yours? Okay, you judged it by mine. Did you follow the commandments? No, you cheated on your wife. Money was your God, your SUV or your dog or your self-important. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Depart from me. I never knew you. We don't need nice little preachers with clerical collars who stand up there and say, "Oh God, we beseech thee." We need people that tell the unvarnished truth. And when you do that, you will walk a narrow road. You will not go viral, and you will not be popular, and you're not going to rake in the big money like Joyce Myers, Joel Osteen, and a plethora, a cargo shipload of men and women that should have gotten a job and learned how to schmooze people and get sheeple under them. This country is not coming to Jesus in the shiploads. I hear pastors say revival. One of the women I work with plays this crappy black Christian music that's just, it's awful. I'm coming from the point of view that I like Louis Armstrong. Go down, Moses, and tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Now that was music. This crap that they're playing today, it's like Cheese Whiz. Remember that Cheese Whiz in a can? Gross. But that's what it is. We've had a dumbed down generation of people listening to foolishness. And one of the songs I hear is revival, a bunch of black women, revival, revival, revival. She doesn't exhibit peace. She's bombast, she's loud, she's obnoxious, she's rude. And I want to just politely say, where's the Spirit of God in all this? You can't. You can't. She also believes in the Democratic Party. Because of the world we live in, you cannot just go up and get into an argument with people. You have to have discernment to say, is anything I'm going to say do any good? And you can't tell me, well, Jesus offended people. He did. But you also have to use discernment. In a workplace setting, you don't want to jeopardize your job by antagonizing somebody. She antagonizes me on a constant basis, and I have to, as a white guy, go, this woman truly is ignorant. Revival is not happening. Churches today are weak. They're cliquey. They're unfriendly. They're caught up in everything but the thing. They're caught up in everything but Jesus and his truth. You have esoteric Christians. Well, I don't want to discuss politics. I'm here just to fall in love with Jesus. Okay, well, you go over there on your little island and do that. And I'm sorry that I'm being cynical, but it needs to be stated that those people that say stuff like that have a pseudo-spirituality that's fit for the trash can. It's like that cotton candy. You know, all sounds good, but you bite down on it and there's no substance.
Power off.
Steamed mixed veggies and ground chicken, folks. Industrial salvation. I like that. This woman I work with brags that she's a prayer warrior. If I was to systematically tell you the way she operates in a day's time, she has said it, she has modeled it. I'm going to do what I want. She will defend her color of people, no matter what. She's a control freak. And we have a nation so many people believe so many lies anymore. We're not united anymore. We're a country. We're a country that's coming off the rails. How can you justify Rachel Maddow getting $30 million? Even a conservative guy who's telling the truth. Charles Stanley's a preacher down in Atlanta. I like a lot of what he says. I've read a couple of his books. But the salaries of these people. Hey Siri, what is Charles Stanley's net worth?
Charles Stanley's net worth was $1.5 million in 2019.
Hey Siri, what is Rachel Maddow's net worth?
Rachel Maddow's net worth was $35 million in 2021.
One guy preaching the gospel worth $1 million. And another woman preaching Satan's, whatever you want to call it, is worth $35 million. Rachel Maddow, none of what she does is changing the world for good or God's glory. Stanley at least preaches biblical truth. I believe he makes somewhere 200 and 250,000 a year. That just seems excessive to me. If you go down a list, hey Siri, what is Oprah Winfrey's net worth?
According to Forbes.com, Oprah Winfrey's net worth is $2.5 billion.
Hey Siri, how many mansions does Oprah Winfrey own?
Here's an answer from thecut.com. Oprah, by contrast, reportedly owns between 6 and 8 lavish homes, sprawling estates into which a person could probably wedge 6 to 8 regular-sized homes, if Oprah allowed.
Isn't that interesting? Start doing a study of Democrats and look at their money. Look at their houses. All those homes have fences or walls around them. I bet you Oprah and all these people have armed security. And I bet you they did not defund the police where they live. They want to take away your guns. They want to take away your freedoms while they got all of theirs and sit on the biggest cash deposits ever. Hey Siri, Mark Zuckerberg's net worth.
According to Forbes.com, Mark Zuckerberg's net worth is $73.6 billion.
That's a Democrat promoter right there, $73 billion. Was that billion? Let me check that again. Hey Siri, Mark Zuckerberg's net worth.
According to Forbes.com, Mark Zuckerberg...
$73.6 billion. Watch this. Hey Siri, Alan Bezos' net worth.
According to Forbes.com, Jeff Bezos' net worth is $130 billion.
Hey Siri, how much does Google make a day?
Okay, I found this on the web for how much does Google make a day. Check it out.
Google bringing in more than 100 million per day via AdWords. That's crazy. It was $42 million a month, I thought, but it's exceeded that. Hey Siri, what is Bill Gates' net worth?
According to Forbes.com, Bill Gates' net worth is $110.2 billion.
Hey Siri, what is Bill Gates' house worth?
Okay, I found this on the web for what is Bill Gates' house worth. Check it out.
Bill Gates' $131 million Xanadu mansion. Luxury meets cutting edge technology in Medina, Washington. Are you guys getting the picture? We grew up our whole lives during rich Republicans. I challenge you to go find Republicans whose net worth is where all these leading Democrat promoters and supporters are, and tell me who's richer between the two parties. Then I want you to tell me how the Democrats are preserving the environment by building mansions, buying mansions. Oprah owns 7 or 8. 7 or 8. Talk about a spoiled princess. And you see that with women in our country today, black or white. They think that everybody owes them something. People will argue with me, well, she works. I remember this black woman said, you got no right to judge that. That's none of your business. I said, yeah, I do. She supports your party, and they support socialism. And socialism is already hurting my income. And they're not going to let us get the kind of money she has. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I said, you defend her because she's black. You defend her because you can't talk to these people, folks. If you're going to be a socialist, then give all that money and homes away. Equality, man. The Democrats are operating under the same pyramid scheme that Amway does. All of its promoters are sitting on top of the wealth, the best real estate in America, the most beautiful homes in America, telling you to get rid of your car, your lawnmower, your gas stove. They want you to all live in teepees and be a third world country and tell you how great socialism is. You will own nothing and be happy. Tucker Carlson leaving Fox News is a bummer. There's some good other people on Fox News, but I want Christians to understand we're going to see an erosion. People think that the Republicans and the conservatives are coming back. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that. I believe the stage is being set for a biblical world end. That book called Revelation. And if Democrats would just read the Bible instead of playing God and decide whose lives are worth living and whose lives are not worth living, instead of playing God and determining that they have to control the population, when Democrats in America tend to have quite a few more children than the rest of us do that are on the system. Just something to think about. If they would read that God is not going to recycle the Mother Earth. I heard that. Something's going on. Fox News is okay with getting all of the people to watch that builds up their money. And something to think about, the same strings that control the liberal news networks also have their hands in the Fox News. A purging is going to eventually take place where they're not going to allow voices like you or me in there. Or Tucker. called a blackout. Media blacking out truth. Truly turn American networks into KGB-style Soviet-controlled television. We're headed there. We're headed there. These people know that we're vocal on social media. They know there's a lot of us that don't buy their BS. They're coming to shut you down. They're coming to censor you. They're coming to take away your guns, your freedom, your homes, and your bank accounts. Trust me. The Democrats, you would think they'd be happy if we prosper because then they get more taxes. That's not what they're doing. They want to rob from the hardworking people and give to the deadbeats, the pot-smoking crowd out there, which is growing daily into the millions and millions and millions. Christianity isn't changing America, folks. There are some Christians who are faithful to their God. There are Christians like myself that believe in the truth. But America's not coming back. America's moving into the new world, whatever you want to call it. And I wish God would intervene and stop it. But I don't see that happening. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening.